Hey guys, this is Angela from We Are Family Homeschoolers, and this video is all about what my 13-year-old will be doing for an adjusted 8th grade. She has some ADHD and some learning differences, possibly a little bit of dyslexia. So this is what we are doing with her this year, and we have all subjects here: English and literature, spelling and Bible, history, geography, health, science, and math. And I will also show you which readers she's chosen to do for fun. Her reading level is way above her instructional level as far as literature goes. So for literature and creative writing, she will do a little bit lower level of reading and save like the Nancy Drew and the Grimm's fairy tales for her fun time. Those are actually books that she has chosen to read herself. She likes a challenge, but it's a little bit too hard to have in an academic class for her. Together we will be doing Don't Check Your Brains at the Door, which is choosing to make the right decisions when you're with a group of friends. I also found this video, Lies Young Women Believe. So that'll be nice. I'll do that with my teenage daughters instead of reading the book. And then my daughter has chosen the 5-minute Bible study guide for teen girls. And those are things that she has chosen to do on her own. So let me clear this off and I will show you subject by subject. Okay, so we are going to start out this year with Teaching Textbooks Math 4. She's already been working on this. It is the CD program that has tutoring for her, and it corrects her answers right away. And I just have her fill in the workbook as she goes because she needs to see what's going on here. So she is about halfway through this book, and she will finish by Christmas, and she will start Teaching Textbooks Math 5. I like the Teaching Textbooks because it is a tutoring program, and she gets very frustrated with math, and this helps her to be independent. It also helps her to calm down because she doesn't need to get mad at mom. They have some nice tips and tricks in here. And I also have some things that she can use. I found this bubble pop multiplication chart, which I think the toddler likes a lot more than my 8th grader. But we also have this math reference chart, which I got from Christian Light. So she's getting excellent grades. She struggled in math for years, and now her grades are always in the 90s. So she's gotten really confident, and I love this curriculum. For English, we decided to go with ACE PACES. If you don't know what ACE PACES are, it's Accelerated Christian Education. You get 12 of these little magazine-sized books, and to go through throughout the year. Plus, you get the score keys. The score key will cover 3 of those books. I do also have a language arts reference chart, also from Christian Light. I don't think she's ever used it, but it's here if she needs it. And there's her stack of books. So basically, it's an independent program, and we will go over the goals. She'll memorize a Bible verse. She'll memorize a character trait. This is going to start her out with, hey, remember cursive? And then it's going to move her through all parts of speech. And every book deals with something different, teaches new concepts. So this one is, the first book is always assuming that you've had a summer break and you've forgotten what you were doing. So the first book is always easy. She'll be writing paragraphs in Spanish, in cursive. She'll be learning to outline. She will be, I believe, diagramming. I will grade her tests, and she will grade her daily work. This is a Christian program. and I believe it's going to be good for her. She's ready for some independence. I don't know if she will get all 12 of these done in a year, but that's okay because we do school throughout the summer, so she can take her time. And if she can move faster, then that's awesome. For spelling, we've decided to go with spelling you see. Like I said, I believe she's dealing with some dyslexia, so spelling has never been easy for her. She can actually study for a test and get a very good grade on the test, but then when she writes, everything comes out very phonetic. Children that often have learning differences are very visual learners, and spelling you see works on visual patterns. So we're going to try that this year. This is Americana. It's workbook D. And how it works is you go over this passage every day of the week. You're going to get your colored pencils here, and you're going to go through and color certain vowel chunks yellow. You're going to do your copy work. Sorry, this is what the copy work looks like a few days a week. And then she'll go in here and she'll color in her vowel chunks. At the end of the week, she'll be doing some dictation, which we will only do for 10 minutes. We'll set a timer. And every week she'll get a new passage. As you move further on, so now she's coloring consonant chunks in blue. So the patterns get a little more complicated here. She's coloring consonant chunks, vowel chunks, and bossy R chunks. They use the same colors all throughout the program. She's actually going to get quite a bit of history through this program as well, which I love. Oops. Okay, so there's 2 books for 1 year. That was part 1. This is part 2. So here she's got 4 different spelling patterns she's going to be coloring in. She's got endings as well. A little bit of Roosevelt. Lots of history in this volume D. Okay, and this is what the teacher's book looks like. It's just a tiny little book, and you'll be able to check the color patterns. Oops, I can turn the page here. There, and that's how you know if their lessons are correct. Okay, and there's spelling. For literature and creative writing, we also went with ACE PACES again for the independence factor. And you get 12 booklets or PACES throughout the year. You also get the teacher's key, which is very simple. It's just page number and answers, and the test key, and I will have her grade her daily work, and I will grade her tests. So this one is going to have a lot of cursive writing. It's going to have a lot of character qualities. It will tell you exactly which book you're reading, which pages you're reading. It's going to have you do some critical thinking. There's some art in here. There's some geography in here. Every book is teaching different character traits. You're also learning parts of the story, character, plot, and action, and all that stuff. So that's what these look like. There's a test in the middle that you pull out. For every book that she reads, she's going to do a little bit of geography to find out where in the world the story is taking place. So that's what that looks like. The books that come with the program are The Little Green Frog, Saved at Sea, Children's Missionary Library, The Red Rag Riddle, and Choice Stories for Children. Now these are a treasure. These are very, very old stories that have been collected over time. They're short stories, but always teach a wonderful moral lesson. Think back of the time of the McGuffey readers. That's when these stories were probably collected, maybe a little bit sooner than that. So these books, again, are a little bit lower than her reading level, but it's her instructional level. This way she doesn't have to struggle with reading and then try to learn a literature concept at the same time. So that's how we're doing literature. For Bible, I went with Christian Light Education Bible 3. Now, Christian Light Education, everybody knows, is a little bit advanced, so this is not a typical third grade reader. But I went with this level because it doesn't teach Bible stories, it teaches Bible culture. Sometimes you read the Bible and you're like, well, gee, that's weird. Why would they say something like that? Well, it teaches you how the people lived back then and what the culture and society was like and what they dressed like and how they ate and, what were societal norms back then. So they're fictional stories about a family back during Bible times, so that when you read the Bible, it's like, oh, okay, I remember. I know what that word means. That makes sense to me now. So there's only 5 booklets here, or light units, and you're only supposed to do 2 lessons a week to get you through the whole year. But my daughter she doesn't like to do subjects on certain days of the week because it really confuses her. So I will give her a book and she will just work in it every single day till it's done, because she needs routine. And then I will take it away from her and have her do something else for a little while so we can make Bible last throughout the year. That is one thing that she's asked for this year when working on her own school schedules to, help manage her ADHD. She did ask for the 5-minute Bible study for teen girls, something she can do on her own. It's a quick little read, a Bible verse, understanding it, applying it to your life, and praying about it. So she will do these on days when she's not doing her Bible Light units. Again, Lies Young Women Believe DVD that I'm going to do with both my teenage daughters. And Don't Check Your Brains at the Door, which I am reading with all my teens. And my 9-year-old likes to jump in and listen to this too because it's fun. My mom actually read it to me when I was a teenager. So, awesome stuff in here. Myths about God, myths about Jesus, myths about the Bible, myths about the resurrection, myths about religion and Christianity, myths about life and happiness. So basically, what does the world say compared to what does the Bible say? So we've already been working in this. We didn't get too far because we had a really hard year, which I'll talk about in another video. But that's Bible. Okay, for history, we went with Lifepacs, History and Geography, 4th grade, because that's her reading level. And I don't know if you're noticing a theme here, but the ACE PACES and the Christian Light units and the Lifepacs are small booklets that she can do independently and feel confident when she finishes one and not feel overwhelmed because she's holding a 300-page textbook. So these were her choice this year, and I will get into what her goals are for 8th grade and her high school career coming up. But let me show you these. So the Lifepacs have 10 booklets to get through throughout the year. Again, magazine size. This is your teacher's guide. It's pretty thin, easy to handle. There are the answers. Again, she will check her work and I will check the tests. She will come to me every day and show me what she's done. So this is pretty much what I'm going to call world geography. So it's going to start out with exploring the earth, and then it's going to explore ecosystems and people, and I'm not sure if they're going to do much for animals, but basically places around the world that have different ecosystems. So like desert places and islands and seaport cities. So it's a couple pages of reading, 2 to 4 pages at the most, and then what do you remember? Answer the questions, do some map work. I love that because we don't have to lesson plan. She just works until she gets to the questions. And I'll show you one more, and then I'll find you the contents. There is a test in the middle that right there that we will pull out, and I'll hold on to that until she's done with the booklet. So she's pretty excited about this one. And I will show you the contents in the teacher book real quick. So here we go. All about the earth, seaport cities, desert lands, grasslands, tropical rainforests, polar regions, mountain countries, island countries, North America, and our world in review. So it's going to talk about not only the land, but the people that live there and how they live there and a little bit of their history. Okay, and that's history and geography. Okay, so for health, we are still working on Alpha and Omega Lifepac Health Quest, which I think is 5th to 7th grade. We did one of these booklets last year, and we didn't get too far because it was all about human anatomy and the names of the bones and the body systems, and that was hard for her to do by herself, and I didn't have a whole lot of time for her. But this is a teacher's guide. It's very thin. There are 5 booklets, so she can also do these independently. I believe now she's going to be able to start moving through them a lot quicker. It was just that first life pack that had all those big words that she was stumbling with. So this one's going to be mental and emotional health, social health, personal hygiene. It's the same format. You read a few pages and you answer questions. She'll be able to do this independently. I will check the tests. I will have her come to me every day and talk to me about what she read, just to make sure she's got an understanding of it. Let's see what this one's about. So this one's all about nutrition and food groups and the importance of exercise. This one is all about safety, accident prevention, emergency care, first aid, what to do if somebody has a stroke or is bleeding or broken bones, disease and prevention of disease. And I'm going to jump in here and talk to her about our own personal views on vaccinations. That's a good thing about homeschooling, is you can make sure that your kids are learning what your family believes and what your family has researched. You don't have to follow the crowd. Okay, this one is about stewardship of God's creation, air pollution, water and land pollution, stewardship of your bodies and drugs, and about alcohol and tobacco. So hopefully we will get to finish these up this year and then move on to our high school health next year. Okay, so science was a little bit of a struggle. We really wanted to go with Science Shepherd this year, which is a DVD or online streaming curriculum, but they did not have the DVDs available for purchase, and I didn't want to waste money on the online streaming because I have a lot of children and I want to be able to reuse the DVDs. So I did have to tell the state what we were studying this year, and we chose chemistry, physics, and astronomy. So this is what I pulled off the shelf, and this is how she's going to be using it. So we've got the Young Explorer series Apologia. This is like Introduction to Chemistry and Physics. I have the audiobook on my computer, so she will listen to the audiobook. I do have some of these experiment supplies in a box. So if she wants to do all the experiments, that's fine. If that overwhelms her, I will just make her do one experiment a week. There's a lot of try thises throughout the chapter. It takes 1 week to get through a chapter. At the end of the chapter, it says you can do notebooking activities. I did not buy her the notebook because that stresses her out. But there's a bunch of questions here that go along with the material that she just read. And so I will type up these questions and make sure that she writes down the answers to those and does a final experiment before moving on to the next chapter. So that's what this looks like. I really love the audiobook. She hates audiobooks, but that was the deal. If she wanted to be independent in science, there's a lot of big words in here. I really want her to hear somebody read it to her. And I think after a little while she'll realize that, yeah, that is easier because now I can think about what is being said and not stress about the words. Okay, so that's how that will work. Find the constellations. I do not have an astronomy book that would be good for her to read. I do have one for upper high school levels. So since she's already doing this chemistry and physics, I wanted astronomy to be fun. So we're just going to get into the constellations. By the way, this is the same guy that wrote Curious George. I have a son that went through this book and he absolutely loved it. So she can read this on her own. She's going to learn the shape of the constellations and the major stars in each one. She's going to go out and find them up in the sky for our hemisphere. And then I'm going to have her draw out these constellations. Draw these out in a notebook and name them for me. So, yeah, this should be more of a fun subject. And that's, you know, depending on your hemisphere, that's what you should see if you go outside. Okay, that is all of her subjects, and now I will show you how we're going to make it easy for my ADHD daughter to get through her school day. Okay, so her math will be upstairs because right now her math is installed on the main computer in the living room. So this will be upstairs on my bookshelf with her reference chart. Other than that, to complete her school day, she will grab her bucket. This has all of her subjects in it, everything she needs. We have pencils all over the house, but she could throw a few pencils in here. We have her literature and creative writing, the answer key, the book she's working on. We have her English and her reference chart and the answer key. We have her spelling, her pencils, the teacher's guide. We have her Bible. We have her history and the teacher's guide. We have her health and the teacher's guide and her science if she starts out with this one. I will, like I said, write down the questions probably in a notebook for her. And so there you go. She can pick up her bucket and she will be done with her school day when everything's finished. And that really helps her to stay organized. If you see her school shelf right here, her bucket fits really nicely in this spot. Any books we are not working on will go here. And for all those extra light units and paces and the Alpha and Omega Lifepacs, they will go up on my shelf until she's ready for a new book, and then we'll just slide it right in there. I did want to speak real quickly to her goals. So this is her 8th grade year. She is young for an 8th grader. In public school, she would be a 7th grader. She is reading about a 4th grade, 6th grade level. Instructionally, I would say about a 4th grade level. So our goals are to teach her all subjects that are typically required for a high school student at her reading level. So she's learning everything she needs, but not at a difficult high school pace. So the objective is this year we start with everything we can in 4th grade as much as she's able to read by herself. By her 12th grade year, we should be finishing up with 8th grade materials. Now that'll mean I have to get creative, and I might have to choose different publishers and get a little bit eclectic, but we will find her high school subjects at her reading level. And then, when we get closer to graduation, we'll assess and make sure she has all the math she needs to be a successful adult, and do her taxes and buy a car and manage her bank account. And that's the beauty of homeschooling, because you can make it work for everybody. All right, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.